Hey there, my name is Ali. Today's edit is gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna edit a picture with a person in it, not an environment. Okay, we'll start off by adjusting the size of the image we need to use. I like to go by 4 by 5 in the crop so that it suits Instagram. Make sure you don't have delete crop pixels for now. And I'm gonna press OK. This is our canvas. One thing I need to do is I need to centralize my photo. But I don't want to do it by my eye. I want to make it completely like accurate. So I'm gonna make sure this is in percent. And I'm gonna pull the line into 50%. After that, I'm gonna pull my image until it's exactly in the center of my model. Then I'm gonna get rid of that line. You can also press Ctrl R to open or close this ruler. Okay, now I'm gonna magic wand this empty area. We have an empty area here we need to fill. I'm gonna go to Edit, Fill, which is Shift +5, and make sure you're content aware and 100%. And okay, this will automatically fill whatever you have, like it will read all the pixels in the image and try to fill it in a good way. Okay, looks good now. Let's Control T. Let me first delete crop pixels. This will make your file go faster. Then after that, I'm gonna Control T. I'm gonna resize my image by holding Alt and Shift. Resize it up a little bit. Okay, so now we have our image here. Okay, the first thing I want to do is I want to emphasize this fire. So I'm gonna add a new layer. Then I'm gonna use a brush. I'm gonna use an orange color, a bright orange, something like that. And I'm gonna make sure my brush is linear dodge add. This is really important, and a normal circular brush and a very low opacity. I'm gonna first draw a big circle, something like that. Then I'm gonna hold Alt, right click, make my brush smaller. Then I'm gonna draw another one like that, make my brush smaller, draw another one like that, make my brush smaller, and I'm gonna keep on drawing here. Now I have this light. I'm gonna put it into screen mode. Then I'm gonna Control J to make another duplicate of this one, but this time I'm gonna keep it on overlay mode and make it smaller. Or let me try making it bigger, like that. Okay, that's better when it's bigger. And lower its opacity and lower the ones below opacity. So now we have some sort of a light, very like clearly coming out. I'm gonna lower the opacity even more. We have the light coming out of this wand. Now one more thing I'm gonna do. This is like a creepy environment, so I love to add crows to the environment. Let's have this one. Use the magic wand. Just click on the white and make sure it's rasterized before you press backspace to delete it. And I wanna place this crow maybe flying somewhere here. And of course, let's give it a blur because it's close to the camera, so it should be a little bit blurry, something like that. Even more, maybe 13 will be good. Okay, but this one is too dark and my environment doesn't have that much of blacks in it. So I'm gonna press Ctrl M to go to curves, and I'm gonna take my dark points and just slightly pull it up, not so much, something like that is good. And my dark areas here have a little bit of blue into them, so I'm gonna press Ctrl B. And I'm gonna stand on my shadows, add just a little bit of cyan and a little bit of blue. So now, like it looks more like the environment. And I'll also make it a little bit bigger. So it's blurry because it's close to the camera. So close to the camera should be big. Now let's jump to that flower. Let's put a flower here. It's already PNG, so we're not gonna do much work with it. It's a rose actually, not a normal flower. And I want to put it somewhere here. But it looks like completely fake. So first I'm going to Control U. Desaturate it a little bit. It's too colorful. Make it a little bit darker. Then Control M. Take the dark points, pull them up. It's too contrasty. So pulling the darks up and pulling the whites down will make it less contrasty. Zoom out. I always like to zoom out to see what I'm doing before zooming in again. A little bit smaller. I want to put it inside her sleeve, like it's coming out of her sleeve. So I'll delete this. As you can see here, when I'm zoomed in, we have some noise on the photo, but we don't have this noise on the rose. So one way I like to use to add noise is filter camera raw filter. And then I jump to the FX module and add some grain. 15 is good. You can like zoom in and see. You see now it has some grain into it. And let me lower the opacity a little bit. Okay, let me bring another one from that flower. This time I'm gonna put it actually here somewhere on the floor, something like that. Too big, let me make it a little smaller. Okay, and then I'm gonna just lower its opacity. I can see behind. I'm gonna take the polygonal lasso tool and I'm gonna make selection of the dress. I want it to be behind the dress. So I'm just gonna make a selection like that. And I'm gonna add layer mask. I want the opposite of this, so holding Control I will give me what I want. Let me bring the opacity back to 100%. And again, standing on the layer, I'm gonna Control U. I'm gonna desaturate, darken, desaturate, darken. Control M, make the dark points brighter and pull this one down. Not so much, of course. Then Control B. This is another one I'm gonna do. Shadows, make sure you have the same bluish color in the shadow. Okay, now we have our rose here. I'm gonna rasterize it actually. Let me stand on the bottom layer. This is the layer below. Let me take the burn tool and I'm just gonna burn very slightly here so that it looks like it's rooting from the floor. Something like that. Actually, I'm gonna draw the whole shadow like that. This is like the shadow of good. But the flower is too dark compared to the dress. The dress is much brighter. So standing on the woman photo, I'm gonna press Control M and I'm just gonna make things a little bit darker. I'm gonna draw the S curve, like making the shadows darker and making the highlights brighter. This actually made the photo way better. Okay, what else could we add here? I added the crow and okay, it's time to let's like make it even more creepy. I'm gonna go to hue saturation. I'm gonna make a selection. Make sure you have like a small feather, one maybe. Selection around her eyes. Let's give her eyes some creepy color, something like that. Make sure you paint like with black on her eyes and press colorize. Everything will be colored except her eyes, of course. So you can just stand on the layer, press Control I, and you have the opposite. So yellow eyes or orange eyes or red eyes. Red eyes. I like the red actually. So now we give her like red eyes. Make it like even more creepy. Okay. One more thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a text. This is like a font I downloaded. It's called Butcher the Baker. You can search it and download it for free. And I'm gonna type I'm fine. I'm gonna make this one much bigger, something like that. And I'm gonna place it here, but I don't want it to be like font like that. I want it to be more realistic. So I'm gonna press Control click. Now I have a selection of the font. I'm gonna close the layer for now. I'm gonna stand on this layer below and I'm gonna add a curves adjustment layer. And I'm just gonna pull this one down like that. Let me first pull this one like this, pull this one like that, and a little bit here until it looks good. Okay, you can always like make it bigger or smaller or change its place accordingly. I guess this is good. Okay, I'm gonna use the same technique to do something else. I'm gonna add a new layer, but this time I have some, let me choose one, this one maybe, okay? This is a crack brush. You can download actually all my brushes. They are gonna be linked in the description. So this is a crack brush. Oh, okay, we have a problem here. It's not on normal, so I'm gonna make it into normal. And on a new layer, I'm just gonna press several clicks. So now we have this crack brush. I'm gonna warp it around a little bit. I want it to be something like that. Okay, but it should not be overlapping the woman. So I'm just gonna lower the opacity and I'm gonna make a selection around the woman. That you can be more precise with it. It's gonna be better. But I'm doing this fast for the sake of the tutorial. Okay, so now we have this weird thing. I'm gonna do the same, control click, close the layer, stand on this layer. Let's try brightness contrast and just increase the contrast and lower the brightness a little bit. So now we have some sort of a crack. This crack is important in the photo, in the narrative actually. Like to prove something, it's like having cracks in a photo which says I'm fine and like it's all creepy. It works good with the photo. Okay, I guess we're done with the compositing. It's time to like blend the whole image together and add some adjustment. Starting with curves, I always like to pull the blacks a little bit down, pull the shadows pull the shadows down, and you can increase the highlights, something like that. Okay, so this is before and after. Much better, much moodier. In this photo, I will use a photo filter which is called the sepia. It's a dusty photo filter. It's used for old photos and stuff like that. I guess it will work very good in this photo. I'm gonna go to curves to start coloring things up. So I'm gonna go to the red. I'm gonna move this one. This is like adding cyan in the shadows. I'm gonna add some cyan in the shadows. Opposite of it, some red in the highlights. More cyan in the shadows, maybe. No, that's too much. Okay, let's go to the blue channel. Some blue in the shadow. And opposite of it, yellow in the highlights. Something like that. I like actually the yellow so much. So this is like the color. Okay, now we did first curves, which is like blending the blacks and whites together. Then we did some coloring. This one. Gave it some yellow, like cyan tint. I like it so much. Okay, now it's time to hold Control Alt Shift, then press E. This merges everything into a new separate layer. I like to do that so I can go to Filter, Camera Raw Filter, and edit the whole image in one go. Okay, so now we have the whole image. I'm gonna go to the radial filter. Usually everything should be 0. If it's not, you can make them 0 like I did. And oh, okay, first you need like to make any adjustment, just anything, increasing the exposure a little bit. And I'm gonna draw a circle in the middle part. Now whatever I'm gonna do is gonna affect the circle only with 100 feather. You can do a mask just to see where you're affecting. If the feather is 0, it's gonna be like that. So I increased the feather so it looks realistic, and you can make it inside or outside. So now I'm having it inside. This is the part where I'm affecting the edits I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna close the mask so I can see. A little bit of brightness. I want eyes to be attracted here. So normally I will increase the colors a little bit. I'll add warm colors, and in the opposite side I'll add cold colors. So now I have warm colors, I have some exposure, some contrast. I'm gonna increase the highlights by increasing the whites. The clarity, I'm gonna make everything more clear. And the dehaze, I'm gonna dehaze everything all again to make things clear. And the sharpen, I'm gonna sharpen everything to make things clear. Saturation, I'm gonna add a little bit of saturation to make it more colorful in the middle. And I'm gonna press OK. So now we made the part in the middle now much more clearer. Let's jump back to the camera raw filter and let's do the opposite. So I'm gonna draw the same circle, but this time I'm gonna opposite everything. So instead of 6, negative 6. Instead of 6, negative 6. Instead of brightening, I'm gonna darken. I'm gonna leave this one as 0 and I'm gonna leave this one as 0. Instead of clearing things up, I'm gonna unclear things up. Leave this 0, 0, and 0. Okay, let's see where we're affecting. Let's open the mask. Now I wanted the opposite, so I'm gonna do the outside. So now I'm targeting the opposite of what I want. A bit more darkness, okay. So now the opposite is gonna be darker and more bluer like we did. Let's jump to the camera raw filter again. Let's go to the FX module. I like to add this like it's a vignette, it's a black circle around your photo. Play around with the options, but of course I'm not gonna leave it -100 too much. -10 is fine. And okay. And I guess that's it for today's tutorial. I'm happy with the output. If you have any comments or questions, make sure you put them in the link down below and make sure you subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys.